What's good, Gooners? The fans are back. They'll have their say on what they think of Unai Emery after 9 wins in a row. Also, the Gunners get Adidas for 2019. And Aaron Ramsey is talking about, I thought contract was already done. No, it wasn't. So guys, Adidas CEO Kasper Rorsted has had a chat and spoken about his love for Arsenal and why he thinks that they're going to be a major player over the years to come. And he also clarified that the name is not Adidas, it's Adidas, because the creator's name was Adi. So it was named after him. So anybody out there saying Adidas, or you're listening to them old Run DMC tunes, yeah, probably need to drop that quickly. So, Ramsey's been shooting off the mouth saying, I thought we had a contract agreed. No, mate. When you agree a contract, you sign a contract. When you sign, that is when it's agreed. It's not agreed when it's on the table, it's not agreed in negotiations, and it's not agreed in principle. Everything is done and dusted when the pen hits the paper. That is a contract being signed, not what you thought it was. And we believe the deal was 200 grand, it was 200,000 euros a week. And Arsenal's wage bill's running at record levels at the moment. It's pretty high. I mean, if we look at the guys who are leaving next year, Czech, Liechtenstein, Monreal, Welbeck and Ramsey, of course, their contracts run out next year. They equate to 435 grand a week, which by my calculations is about 22.6 million a year. That's a lot of money when you consider wage bills are rocketing out of the stratosphere, and I think ours is over 400 million now. So looking at Ramsey's deal in that equation, it just wasn't worth it, because he could probably get 4 or 5 players for the price of what he's paying Ramsey per week. When you consider the youth academy players are on the 30 grand, Guendouzi's on 40. So if you kind of add that up, you can probably get about 5 players a week for the price you're paying Ramsey. So it just wasn't worth getting that deal done. So let's move on to the fans having their say about Unai Emery's 9-game winning streak and what they think of him so far. So let's move over to G. G says, we appear to have significantly improved the defensive balance under Emery, and a lot of it is down to having a deeper central midfielder because of fullbacks, Monreal especially. Well, actually, it's both of them, are playing further down the field. Emery's doing a great job, and we can all get behind this, can we all get behind this dude now? In regards to what you're saying, yes, you're right, because we've notoriously had central midfielders that have bombed forward when the fullbacks are bombed forward, and if you do that, you're just going to get caught at the back. Tom Ashton is saying that he wants him to be his godfather for his next child, who's naming Unai. I wonder what Lisa Jane's going to say about that. But yeah, obviously Tom thinks he's done really well. Next up we have Prince. Prince, nice to see you back in the forum. Prince is saying, having seen our loss to Man City and Chelsea at the beginning of the season, it was obvious that we're heading into oblivion. Maybe a little. But little did the world know that Emery was heading into a part of history, from the goalkeeping position to the strike force, and he's saying it's been awesome. And, his heart is with Emery. It's become in a very Emery way in a short time, having a great man at this point in time. So he's just saying we got the right guy at the right time in the right place. So you totally agree, Prince. And they've done it in the right way. Next up is Tarik Dawkins. He's saying he's doing okay, but it'll take time and a few transfer windows for him to have the type of players he wants to play, the system he likes to play. And that's where we're talking about his decision in pulling away from Ramsey, because it was his decision to pull that deal off the table. So for a number of years, Arsenal have always been just a few top players shorter to improve the squad and also enable us to mount a serious challenge for trophies. Well, I say the title because we've been winning trophies, so it's just a title. But ultimately, this guy just needs time. The improvements are there, and for all to see, we're starting to beat the teams we should be beating. So let's now see just how he does against the rest of the top six. I'm going to make a point about the top six. It doesn't really factor into winning titles. If you look in the last 5 years, Liverpool have had the best record in the top six out of all the teams. But have they won a title? Not for nearly 30 years. So, if you look at where Mourinho has always said, let me get a draw away from home and then try and win at home, that was a good tactic that was successful for him. You don't necessarily need to beat the top teams. You need to compete with the top teams to take points off them, which is how strategically a lot of managers will play it. But winning those games doesn't mean anything. Liverpool has shown us that you can beat Man City, Tottenham, United, Arsenal, Chelsea, and still not come anywhere near winning the title. So it's just about consistency. And last year we didn't have it. Our home record was amazing. I think we only lost 2 games at home all season, and I think it was 15 or 16. It was our away record was awful. And as I said, we lost. We only won 4 away from home all season, and we've already won 3 in the first 2 months. So there's big improvement on that. If we can keep our home form, then yeah, it looks like statistically, looking at that form, that we will finish in the top 4. But let's see what happens there. Thanks a lot for that, mate. Barry Taylor says, I love him. Duh. And Johnson Chima says, one word, motivator. And yeah, he is. He's a motivator. He's a coach working with a symphony on the sidelines because of the way how he's shouting at the players, telling them to push up when they need to push up, telling them to play their gaps when they need to play their gaps. He's doing that on the field. It's like how an American football head coach works. He's constantly in there changing the game as the game's going on, rather than Wenger just sitting down and only standing up when he got emotionally disappointed about something. Unai Emery is managing the team on the field, and that's really good to see. Ken Cena, nice to see you back, mate. He says, it's an interesting one because before we started to see the shape of the team of what he was trying to do, there was little talk about how many windows it would need for him to fix the team. We have to remember who we are and who owns the club. Good point, because the policies dictate that there's going to be a certain amount of money that's going to go into transfers. We were promised at the last 2015 Arsenal Supporters Trust meeting that it was 100 million a year. And we have been consistent with that figure over the last few years, although we only spent 76 in the last window. So we'll have to see what happens. I know a lot of changes. The Adidas deal is going to bring another 30 million into the kitty as well. So we really don't know where I think those questions will be answered by Raul Sally in January, in the next meeting. But he goes on to say, they went for a head coach because they were not going to buy their way out of trouble. And truth be told, I don't even think our team was that bad. He thinks it has done well to change the attitude and keep the players on their toes. He is also real with them. If you're not doing well or it isn't working, he'll change things. He also doesn't want to stop with the in-game management because that's what his team needs. It's a work in progress and he's making positive moves. So far, so good. But still a lot of work to do with the defence. 10 goals already this season is already concerned. Bang on, 100% agree with every point, mate. Fantastic. Carmelo, thankfully, Carmelo, you're now on the forum. Cheers. Thanks for the input. Carmelo says, fabulous start, possibly helped by fixtures, but encouraging. Again, I wouldn't agree with the fixtures. The fixtures are the same every year. It's just your attitude to beating the teams that you should be beating. And last year we wasn't doing that. We were near enough embarrassing away from home. And we just wasn't anywhere near beating those teams. And they knew it as well. So they came at us because they knew we were fragile. It was like one of those things where animals can smell blood. That's how we were. So I wouldn't say helped by fixtures. The fixtures are the same every year. They don't change. You play the same teams home and away. But I do think you're right in terms of it's encouraging what we're seeing. And it is a fabulous start, regardless of what anybody says. It's a good start. If you win 9 out of your first 11 games, doesn't matter who you are, that's a good start. Yeah. So at the moment, we're 2 points behind the top 3 teams where people would have never even said that we would be competing on this level. So So guys, well done. Thanks for the comments and the input this week. And what we'll do is we'll have a look. It's international break now, so we'll have a look at how he prepares the team in that time. We have a lot of players like Lacazette and Ozil that are not playing international football, and the work that we're able to do with them at times like this is going to be key. I'm guessing he's going to do a lot of film work with them, talking about formations, and he'll be doing that. He'll be doing that with the players that are not going away on international duty, and that's because he's meticulous, he's very thorough in what he's doing. But the key game is November, and the November the 3rd, I believe, and that's the Liverpool game at home. That's going to tell us a lot about where this team is, because we've had the time to integrate the system and everybody's comfortable now. We're at a place where we're not thinking before we're acting. We're starting to act naturally to what the coach is telling us to do. And with this, I think we might get top four. I think we might get the top four. Probably a good chance of winning the European Europa Cup, and you know, some other honours. I'd be really happy if we won a trophy this season and finish in the top four. For me, that would be a good season, considering that most teams fall flat on their face when they, not mentioning the other teams, when they change a manager. Everybody was worried about Wenger leaving because it was like, who's going to come in and are they going to be a mid-table team? Look at us now. So guys, like and subscribe. Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it, guys. Hit that like button. And also hit the bell if you want to see when my videos are dropping. And cheers, thanks for the support, and peace out.